Welcome to Streaming Into the Voids, What's New in Streaming, where we discuss the highlights of what's available for you to stream the week of March 9th. I'm Kim Hollis, and with me are Raul Burial, Tim Bridey, and David Mumpower. We'll start with Hulu, and one that was announced after we recorded last week. It's Poor Things, coming to Hulu on March 7th. The critically acclaimed Oscar hopeful lands on Hulu. It's a mix of Frankenstein and My Fair Lady. The Yorgos Lanthimos movie stars Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, and Willem Dafoe, and is hoping to play spoiler at the Academy Awards, so they're releasing it a couple days ahead.
I love how casually you say it's a mix of Frankenstein and My Fair Lady, as if that's perfectly normal.
It is perfectly normal. I mean, everything I've read has said it's actually a very good Frankenstein adaptation, and Frankenstein's one of my favorite books, so we shall see. We move on to Netflix and Queen of Tears, Season 1, coming March the 9th.
In this Korean series, the queen of department stores and the prince of supermarkets weather a marital crisis until love miraculously begins to bloom again.
It stars some pretty big Korean stars, not that we necessarily know any of them, but like some of the highest paid ones in the country, apparently. On March the 10th is I, and that's EYE, Love You.
In this Korean film, sparks fly when a telepathic woman who'd given up on love meets a kind-hearted student who thinks in a language she can't understand.
Okay.
On March 11th is CoComelon Season 10.
Season 10.
Yeah.
JJ is back to sing, dance, learn, and grow in all new musical compilations featuring kid-friendly songs. Even though you've been lapped by Bluey in the ratings, so take that, CoComelon.
Yeah, and how much is he growing? He's still the same baby size he always is. Also on March 11th is Young Royals, Season 3. In the final season of this Swedish series, as Hilarska confronts the worst crisis in the school's history, Wilhelm and Simone navigate heartbreaking revelations and final decisions. We move on to March 12th and Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, Season 6.
Entrusted with guarding the Miraculous while also saving the city from Shadow Moth and his minions, Marinette now has less time to spend with Cat Noir.
Oh no.
I'm sure this all means something to someone. My kids tried to explain the mythology of the series at some point, and my eyes glazed over almost immediately.
Yeah, it's a nice looking animated series. At least it's got that going for it. Next up is Steve Treviño, Simple Man, coming March the 12th.
From The Secret to his successful marriage to his dad's spaghetti sandwiches, comedian Steve Treviño riffs on family life in this upbeat stand-up special.
On March the 12th is Turning Point, The Bomb and the Cold War.
With first-hand accounts and access to prominent figures around the world, this comprehensive docuseries explores the Cold War and its aftermath.
March 13th brings Bandidos Season 1. In this Mexican series, a gang of skilled misfits ventures to uncover a long-hidden Mayan treasure. Their strategy? Hazy. Their dynamic? Off. Luckily, they're pretty ingenious. On March 14th is 24 Hours with Gaspar.
In this Indonesian film, with only 24 hours left to live, a private investigator follows a trail of confounding clues to uncover the disappearance of his childhood friend. This sounds a lot like DOA, except he's not trying to solve his own murder, but somebody else's. Yeah.
It does. Yep. I was thinking the same thing. Also on March 14th is Art of Love.
In this Turkish film, after learning that the art thief she has been chasing is her ex-lover, an officer working for Interpol concocts a plan to catch him red-handed. And I just loved Rene Russo in this film.
Yep.
It does look like it has some high production value. It's very much an international cast, an international movie.
The quality looks good.
And if you want to watch a different interpretation of the same story, I've recently watched Pierce Brosnan's version of the Thomas Crown Affair, and it really holds up.
All right, next up is, this one's for you, Raul, Girls Five Eva, Season 3.
A one-hit wonder 90s girl group attempts to come back while hilariously navigating family and relationships, plus the joys and pains of middle age. This is, of course, moving from Peacock to Netflix for its third season, and non-zero chance we see it on the ratings.
This one sounds intriguing. I might watch this.
Okay. Another March 14th release is Red Ollero, Mabuhay is a Lie. In his first major stand-up special, irreverent comedian Red Ollero takes aim at fast food, awkward sex, and the trouble with being not quite famous. On March the 15th is Cat and Dog.
In this live-action CGI animation mix, with a cranky cop hot on their tail, a cat lover and jewel thief unite in their quest to find their lost pets and make it from Montreal to New York City.
And I'm here to say that the CGI animation looks pretty weird. Also on March 15th is Chicken Nugget Season 1.
This is the fake one, right, Kim? This is a South Korean series, and I am not making any of this up. A woman steps into an odd machine and becomes a chicken nugget. Now, her father and her admirer must team up and embark on a zany quest to bring her back from chicken nuggetdom.
Yep, it's real. All right, March 15th brings us Irish Wish.
Starring Lindsay Lohan, when the love of her life gets engaged to her best friend, Maddie puts her feelings aside to be a bridesmaid at their wedding in Ireland, until a spontaneous wish for true love causes her to wake up as the bride-to-be. Also starring Aisha Curry, Ed Spielers, and Alexander Vlahos.
I don't know what god we crossed, but this is definitely our curse.
Another March 15th release is Iron Rain, Season 1. Joaquin Mancado rules his drug empire from Barcelona's seaport with an iron fist until a new shipment sends business and family spiraling. And we close out the Netflix releases with The Outreau Case, a limited series.
A tragic affair of child abuse and judicial disaster, this docuseries revisits the Outreau case, one of the biggest scandals in French history.
Okay, we move on to Disney Plus and NHL Big City Greens Classic live stream coming March the 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Cricket let last year's victory get to his head, so Grandma Alice hopes to humble her grandson this year by going head-to-head in another NHL game. This time, Remy, Vasquez, Nancy, and Coach Cricket are joining the Pittsburgh Penguins, while Tilly, Bill, Gloria, and Coach Alice are joining the Boston Bruins. I have several questions.
Next up is Morphle and the Magic Pets, Season 1, coming March the 13th.
Moonbug brings us this series based on the hit YouTube franchise for kids. These magic pets can transform or morph into anything. They often help others around town or help to stop the bad guys, learning lessons about problem solving, colors, shapes, and friendship along the way. I'm probably not the target audience for this.
Also new on Disney Plus is Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, Taylor's version coming March 15th.
All right, Swifties, you paid a few $100s to see her live. You saw the movie in theaters, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. You even may have paid $19.89 to watch it on premium video on demand, but get ready to subscribe to Disney Plus as well. Yes, the concert film will be shown in its entirety. It includes the song Cardigan and 4 additional acoustic songs that weren't in the other versions. Of course, this is why it's Taylor's version and why she's amazing at this. The top grossing concert film in history, exclusive on Disney Plus. This is going to absolutely annihilate the ratings.
It is. We talked to a Taylor Swift fan last week who was talking about it already, so I think her fans are very aware that it's coming. All right, we move on to Max, and one that was missed because, again, announced after we recorded. It's Wonka, coming March the 8th. The top holiday movie is coming to streaming. Enjoy. I know I will.
Yeah, there's actually some backstory here. This probably wasn't the plan, but they knew that their earnings report was going to be horrific, so they hid it behind the Wonka thing. And as a reminder, this is exactly the same sort of strategy that got Jason Kyler fired not that long ago, because Zaslav was like, no, we have to reinvigorate theater. Well, you only have to reinvigorate theater unless suddenly you show that your subscriptions are in sharp decline, and then suddenly you need Wonka to come in and save the day on Max.
Yep, I think you're exactly right. That's what happened. All right, also new from Max is The Lionheart, coming March the 12th.
This HBO original sports documentary is an intimate portrait of a family navigating the loss of legendary race car driver Dan Weldon.
And our final Max release is The Girls on the Bus, Season 1, coming March 14th.
The drama series invites viewers to hit the campaign trail along 4 female journalists, each of them different in their reporting styles and personalities. It's got an A-list cast that includes Carla Gugino and Melissa Benoist, aka Supergirl.
We move on to Paramount Plus and Never Seen Again, Season 5, coming March the 12th.
Season 5?
Yeah.
This true crime series tells the story of people who vanish into thin air, leaving behind a trail of evidence, but often no smoking gun.
All right, our other new Paramount release is Little Wing, coming March 13th. This movie follows Caitlin, played by Brooklyn Prince, a 13-year-old girl who, reeling from her parents' divorce and the pending loss of her home, is drawn into the world of pigeon racing. She hopes to solve her family's financial woes by stealing a valuable bird, but instead forms a bond with the owner, who cultivates her love of the sport. This also stars Brian Cox and Kelly Riley. We move over to Peacock and the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys Season 1, coming March 11th.
Head out to the range for a deep insider's look at the conflicting personalities that could either spell fortune or disaster for the McBee family under patriarch Steve McBee, a guy who knows how to play almost as hard as he and his 3 ambitious farming sons know how to work.
Yep, this is a reality series, and it's probably going to be a hit. Also new from Peacock is Apples Never Fall, a limited series coming March the 14th.
This is based on Leanne Moriarty's New York Times best-selling novel. It's a limited series that centers on the seemingly picture-perfect Delaney family. Stan and Joy, as played by Sam Neill and Annette Bening, are ready to start what should be the golden years of their lives and looking forward to spending more time with their 4 adult children, played by Jake Lacey, Allison Brie, Connor Merrigan Turner, and Essie Randalls. But everything changes when a wounded young woman knocks on the door. When Joy suddenly disappears, her children are forced to re-examine their parents' so-called perfect marriage as their family's darkest secrets begin to surface. That was quite the journey.
Indeed. Also new from Peacock is Trolls Band Together, coming March the 15th.
The latest film in the Jukebox animated comedy franchise, which Jukebox musical is apparently a specific genre of film I was not aware of before, comes to Peacock after making just over $200 million worldwide, and there will also, of course, be a sing-along version.
Naturally. All right, we move on to Amazon Prime Video and Frida, coming March the 14th. This illustrated documentary tells Frida Kahlo's life story through her own writings, recovered from a damp, abandoned bathroom in her old home in Mexico City. And our other new Amazon Prime Video release is Invincible, Season 2, Part 2, coming March the 14th.
Mark Grayson struggles to rebuild his life as he faces a host of new threats, all while battling his greatest fear, that he might become his father without even knowing it.
And we close it out with Apple TV Plus and Manhunt, a limited series, coming March the 15th.
We learn the story of Edwin Stanton, Lincoln's Secretary of War. The show will chronicle the manhunt for Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes Booth, from the eyes of Stanton, who is played by Tobias Menzies.
This is Apple once again showing that they're the new prestige TV people.
Absolutely. It's got a huge cast full of a lot of people you'll know. And there's a lot of things that are probably worth watching. I will certainly be taking a look at Poor Things because I wanted to see that in the theater, but also I didn't want to go to the theater.
Absolutely. Poor Things, Girls Five Eva, of course. And probably going to be watching the Eras tour on Disney Plus.
Yep, I'll certainly be watching that too.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and throw in Wonka, which we also haven't seen yet because we kind of skipped the Christmas movie season. But I have to say, for all the things we discussed, the Korean shows were really the only ones that intrigued me in any way.
They did sound really interesting, didn't they? Chicken Nugget.
Chicken Nugget.
No.
So go watch something.